Howdy there, folks! How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to Tekkit 2! Or Tekkit Squared. Someone recently pointed out, and by recently I mean literally months ago at this point, that the 2 is smaller, and therefore it could be considered Tekkit Squared, possibly? Which I did complain early on. Well, I didn't complain. I shouldn't say that. There was no complaints. I just pointed out that, hey, wait a minute, this isn't the second Tekkit. Because Tekkit Classic wasn't even the first Tekkit. Some of you might remember when Tekkit Classic launched, it was Tekkit 3. It was the third one. I don't know if that counts Technic in the oh my gosh, it might have been the fourth one. Because before Tekkit, there was Technic, and it was single player, and then eventually we got to Tekkit, which was multiplayer, and then we went a few into that, and we got to Tekkit 3, which then became Tekkit Classic, and then there was Tekkit Lite after that. And then there was Tekkit, and it was just called Tekkit, but in the file system, it differentiated itself as Tekkit Main, so we all called it that, or Tekkit Space, and then Tekkit Legends, and then now we're here at Tekkit 2, or Tekkit Squared, and it doesn't really matter, because it's very plainly trying to be a sequel to the original Tekkit Classic, which itself was not the original Tekkit, so I understand why there is a 2 there. It's fine, no one's upset, everything is good, we're all happy now. One thing I did want to point out real quick was some of you may have noticed that the audio was fundamentally broken over the course of the last many recording sessions. I tried to fix it. I thought the entire time that there was something wrong with my setup, but I think it might have actually been a combination of Pop! OS and my HDMI splitter. As for why I have an HDMI splitter, it's a long story with my setup. My capture card does not have I'm going to have to just do a video showing how I have it all plugged in now. But we're actually not even on Pop! OS right now. How did that sound? Did that sound like what a chest should sound like? What about this door? Hopefully that all sounds good. But I still love Pop! OS, haven't installed that many computers, including a different drive on this computer. But we're going to be testing out Nobara Linux today, which is a fork, a derivative, a spin-off of Fedora. And it's been pretty rock solid, I gotta say. I really like it. You know me, I love my Linuxes. But I'm tired of being inside here. I don't want to spend all day inside of here. We're going to have to come back here soon, folks. We're going to have to come back up here soon. Because if we have a little glance outside through my secret passageway, I completed the power shelf. The solar shelf is finished. We are producing an insane amount of energy. I did the calculations wrong last time. I counted 10 of these, and that isn't right. There's 10 to either side of the middle. We are producing 10 times 512 times 2. What is that? Hold on. I guess 20 times 512 would be much faster. 10,240 EU per tick. An insane number. 10 times what our nuclear reactor is producing. Think about that for a minute. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of damage. No, wrong thing. Sorry. I do have it plugged in now, so we are actually using that energy. Not in the most efficient way. Some of you folks remember in the last episode we talked an awful lot about the best, most efficient way to get power out of this when you can take into consideration the way that EU actually functions, and we've not followed those principles, because I just wanted to get the thing plugged in and working. So we're going from the PESU, which is capable of outputting an insane amount of power. That full 10,000 could be piped through that PESU if we wanted to, but it's going directly into an IV transformer, an EV transformer, and an HV transformer, putting out 4 packets of 512 EU per tick every tick. And so that's double what the reactor is putting out in the basement. Capable of much more, but it's actually plenty. Something else I wanted to talk about, though, before we get into what we're actually doing today, is me and the channel members, we spent a little time figuring out exactly how to make sure we can actually power all these logistics pipes, and we figured it out. It took a long time. There's a lot of experimentation. I'm going to finally tell you the best setup. There's a lot. All you need, though, ignore all of these. Ignore all of these. All you need is one big electric flux generator. Forget the fact there's 4 of them. You just need one plugged into a logistics power junction. It turns out that the amount of power that the big electric flux generator outputs is the same as the maximum power you can pipe through an HV flux cable, 4,096 RF per tick. So splitting it between 2 of these actually makes no sense and accomplishes nothing. We were experimenting, we were figuring things out, But if you have a look here, you'll see this basically is just in and out. This one stays rock solid. None of these ever get touched. You really just need the one of these, the one of these, and the one of these. And the reason we're going with this instead of the high voltage current going directly into the logistics power junction is because, okay, so this receives 1 packet of 512 EU per tick and it outputs that maximum 4096 RF per tick. That's crazy conversion. And if we have a look here and we do some math, let me get my calculator out because I want to make sure I get this correctly. 1 EU equals 2 LP. So 512 EU produces 1024 LP. Not too bad, right? So we could plug that directly in there and that's how much we would get. But look at this, 10 RF to 5 LP. Well, this one's 1 to 2 and this one's 2 to 1, so that's worse, right? Well, remember, this machine outputs 4,096 RF per tick. So remember, 10 to 5, that's a 2 to 1. 4,096 divided by 2 is 2,048. That's more than the 10,000 and whatever I said earlier that we would be getting. 2024? Yeah, that's twice as much. Meaning this is actually far more efficient. Taking that EU, converting it into RF, and then converting it into LP is the far more efficient way of doing this. Now, we went overkill. You don't need 4 big electric flux generators. And the 8 power junctions makes no sense because, remember, this output is already maxing out one of these cables. We could literally disconnect this cable and disconnect it. We just have this one going into here. We'd be just fine. But I've already set it up like this. So in the same way that this is still just up here and turned on, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Or did I just turn it on? I'm actually not sure. Why don't I break this instead of leaving this up here? Bless it. Oh, look, the ceiling and the floor. They're the same thing. People at home like, yeah, that's how 2-story houses work, Rees. Where have you been? I've been here. I've been here in this basement. I've been here in this base of operations underground. Just having my soul and my spirit crushed working for the man. I am the man that I am working for. But we have a good supply now of the medium voltage. And the next thing to do is convert the entire line to build HV. Now you might say, Rees, you don't need to convert the line. You can just start down here and then start a new line and build HV. I want to overhaul all this, which means I'm going to spend even more time down here overhauling this. I want at least 3, maybe 4 centrifugal extractors, 4 rotary macerators, 4 induction furnaces. I added little frames with pictures of what was inside of them, even though you can also kind of look at them, and it'll tell you, how did I get that to happen before? Oh, there we go. If you're holding this, oh no, it's just these. Never mind, I take it back. You can't do that with this. If you look at these, it'll tell you what they're making. And I didn't realize that before. And again, you can toggle that on and off with 1 on your keypad. That's useful, but it's much easier at a glance to just have pictures. Pictures are nice. Did that mean that I had to have a picture of a medium voltage? Yeah, I had to put one in the item frame there. It'll just never get used now. That's perfectly fine. But yeah, we're gonna not really completely overhaul all of this, but we're gonna simplify it and maximize it and then convert it to work with high voltage. But not today. Because some of you may remember... Here's the thing. I don't. At one point, we found a laser gun, right? And we were going to build it to go fight the Ender Dragon. But here's the catch. I have old man brain. And I can't remember if that was this series or FTB, whatever it was, the last series I made. Because I had an FTB series going almost concurrently with this series in the beginning. Many months ago, almost a year ago. Was that the series I was trying to find the laser gun in? Or was it... I feel like it was this one, because I have memories of being on the moon fighting a creeper boss, trying to remember what the laser was. I found it. It's the frickin' laser beam. That's what it's called. It's right there. I don't know why we couldn't find... Didn't I type in laser like a number of times and was like, well, oh, it's because it doesn't show up. It just shows the mining laser. Yeah, Yeah, it's called the frickin' laser beam. I came across it by accident. I wasn't even looking for this. I was scrolling through different items. I was trying to figure out how to breed trees because I have no idea. I think it might have started because I started to type in bee, possibly. I'm trying to remember how I figured it out now. But at some point, I ended up... Look, it doesn't show up. Maybe if you type in frickin', does that even work? That doesn't even work. So I must have just been scrolling through it, I guess. Or maybe I was looking at everything in plethora. I have no memory of how I discovered it. Again, I have old man brain. What I do know is that I found it, and we're going to build it. It's so simple. You just need some kind of weapon. It doesn't look like it actually cares what it is. A diamond, some kind of glass, and some iron. It's too simple, really. So a bit of iron, a bit of glass, actually a lot more iron than that. I mean, not even a lot more. Is it just 4 total? A diamond, and then, you know what? I'll take a sword of some kind. What have we got? A stone sword would probably work. I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, it's not gonna let me make it though. Why? Why won't it let me make it? I understand that it's showing, like, all these other reforged weapons over here, but I don't think it actually cares. I mean, I guess it's showing that you could put a... Does it need to be, like, actually stained glass? Does it need to actually be... I mean, I saw, like... we for sure saw what? If we look at that recipe again, it starts off with, like, a wooden sword. A wooden sword. It was enchanted, I'll give you that, but does it need to be enchanted? Its fire aspect, sure, but does it need to have fire aspect? Does it? It looks like they all do. Glass, thin glass, thick glass, iron... I don't think it actually cares. Oh my gosh, wait, hold on. I saw iron fence. I saw iron fence. You can't tell me otherwise. It might need to be an enchanted weapon with fire aspect, because they all seem to have that. I'm kind of waiting to see if it cycles through to a new item that does not have fire aspect. Maybe it has a different spell. While we sit here and wait for that to possibly happen... Oh, look, it's... No, okay, well, there was flame, and then there was a grappling hook, and now we're back to fire aspect. Okay, I think we're going to say that it probably does need to have fire aspect. I'm going to look up the plethora frickin' laser beam. Can we have sharks with frickin' laser beams? I'm assuming that's what it's a reference to. Ooh, bream is not the right word at all. Here we go. Plethora frickin' laser beam. It fires a bolt of superheated plasma, soft nose laser, or some other head wavy science. This powerful projectile, hand wavy projectile can deal incredible damage to mobs and blocks a light. Is there any, like, instructions on how to manufacture it? It doesn't seem to mention anything in here about how to actually build it. Let's see. It might just need to have fire aspect. That just might be the case. So maybe let's pursue that. That means we're going to have to do some enchanting. I don't enchant things normally in Minecraft. I feel like mostly I just build enchanting tables for mods and things. I don't know if I've even ever done it genuinely. Here's an electric one. I don't know what benefit that has, if any. We could just build a regular... Have we looked into that before? You know that I have the wiki bookmarked, right? You know that I do. I'm that guy. So I'm going to go over there. Here I am. I'm going to find enchanting... There we go. Electric Enchanter. The Electric Enchanter is a device to enchant electric tools, but it also has the ability to enchant anvil, normal tools, and books. The ability to repair items is not included with this machine. While enchanting anviling, it will use 500 EU per tick. Why would you want that? Why would you want to... Well, I'll tell you what. Let's build a regular one first. So we just need a book, a couple of diamonds, and some obsidian. It seems simple enough. I mean, I've built enchanting tables before, and I've used them. What I mean is that, you know, when I talk about, like, I'll never even do that, it never comes to my mind. Because I don't play vanilla Minecraft. I understand there's incredible things that you can do with an enchanting table if you got the right setup. But for me, man, I gotta tell ya, I just build mods. I play mods, and I build things with mods. I know that you need a bookcase, don't you, in order to get, like, the best out of this thing? Let's see. Wood, I assume. I don't even know what the recipe is for a bookcase. Yeah, I play modded Minecraft, so there's always something better than an enchanted tool that I can build. But, I mean, normally you can enchant, you know, modded tools as well. There you go, bookshelf. That's what it is, not a bookcase. A stack of those. But then, should we just go ahead and build this? And do I need to surround this with an enchanter? I'm sorry, hold on, wait a second. Enchantment sorter. Enchantment extractor. Enchantment applicator. Enchantment factory. What are all of these? I just gotta get fire aspects, all I gotta do. That's all I'm after. How are... Oh, good, there's more. Good, good, good. Oh, good, it's spreading. We really do need to get all of the wonderful channel members out of the basement. Oh, good, there's new ones. There's new ones. Okay, what have we got? We got Heather Hancock here. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. We have Knifey. Awesome. Thank you so much for your support. We have James Davis as well. Oh, Spont. Spont's been here. But hi, Spont. How are you doing? We also have David Grindle over here. Well, we have 2 James Davises. Thank you both for your support, assuming you're not just the same person and maybe you accidentally signed up twice. I appreciate your membership and your support to the channel, even though I was not expecting you to turn into crabs and fill up my basement. That was unexpected. Should we build the bookcases here and, like, taunt the pigmen with them? Is that wise? Probably not. I also don't know what the ideal setup for this is. I'm going to assume something like this, but I don't actually know. Yeah, this seems reasonable. The corner ones are probably not useful. Here's what I'm thinking, though, is that I can make an infinite number of bookcases, so I'm not worried about it. Some of you might look at that and say, hey, those corner ones aren't necessary. Listen, I could build the entire basement out of books if I wanted to. We are incredibly wealthy. We have 2 machines building a broken amount of wealth. One in the basement that we haven't checked in on in a while, but I assume that it's fine, and one upstairs that's just grinding up iron. And I'm kind of curious to go check that right now, even though we probably should actually focus on the whole enchanting thing that's the point of the video. Oh, look at that. Look at that, look at that, look at that. It's almost full, folks. It's almost full. That's not where I want you to go. I actually clicked on the wrong... That actually sold me the wrong type of... That's just this being broken. That's just this infinitely pulling a never-ending supply of iron out of here for some reason, in some way that none of us can understand, and pumping in infinite amount of diamonds. I'm not even mad about it, though, at this point. So now we've added the first new thing down here in a long time. A lovely little enchanting chamber. Look at that. This just increases the power of the enchantments, right? We don't really need that on our sword, whatever our sword is going to be. I guess we'll go with a wooden sword because it's the cheapest and that's kind of funny. So if I plop that in there, look, it's not even going to tell me what it is. And also, apparently, I need lapis? Really? Lapis. That's always been a thing. Maybe? Possibly. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Unbreaking. No. No, I need it to not be unbreaking. I need it to be something different. How do I make it something different? Do I just break the darn thing and then replace it? That's ridiculous if that's the case. It's still unbreaking. And sharpness and knockback. Let's see. How to change enchantment. Table options. Roll the enchantment list by enchanting. In Minecraft, the only way to reroll or reshuffle the enchanting list is by enchanting. We have to enchant it. Okay. So, we have no choice now. We had to do that. It has smite, unbreaking, and knockback on a wooden sword. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. If we had any sense of, like, wisdom, what we would have done is we would have used this sword. Can we even use the nano saber? It certainly doesn't look like it. It seems like that's not going to work. Alright, well, fine. Give me another wooden sword. And we'll run that through again. Maybe I can, like, pawn these off on people at some point. Fire aspect 1! Wow. I can't believe that worked. We've got it! Okay, let's go see if that changes the recipe and makes the frickin' laser beam actually get built. It would be disappointing to end this video on a note of defeat, because we can't actually build the frickin' laser sword. Oh, I'm sorry, am I missing the diamond? What happened to the I don't know what did I use the diamond at some- I might have used the diamond at some point. I don't know. Everything's a bit of a blur in my life. Oh yeah, look at there. So yeah, whatever weapon you put in here, apparently it does not matter what it is, so long as it has fire aspect. Glass doesn't matter either. Frickin' laser beam! It fires lasers, enough said, I'll say! We need to go somewhere where we can test this freely and sort of be safe in the process. I'm a little bit apprehensive about that, though, because where can we go? If we go to the Nether, which we've not been to in a long time, we might potentially be killing, like, the front. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Right here in my front. Oh, but what if it's, like, a big blast? Oh, dear. Oh, he's on fire now. So that was just a right-click. Well, that one's gone. I don't... aiming is hard, apparently. There we go, we killed him. We killed the spider. It's not as effective as I had hoped. If I hold down shift and right click, does that do anything different? No. Is there a way to change this thing? It looked like someone might have been talking about it. Let's see. Using shift right click to switch modes. By default, it should damage only mobs. Shift right click once to damage other blocks, and shift right click to do both. Did I do that? I must have, yeah. Okay. But does it damage mobs still? I guess I shift right clicked twice. So probably. So if I shift right click again, no. Well, hold on now. Hold on. Shift right click. Oh! This isn't how it works. This is a recommendation on the GitHub page. Let's go back to the... Let's see. If you are rather paranoid about the singularity, you may want to avoid giving computers access to these energy weapons. Instead, you can elect to fire the laser by hand. It functions a little like a bow. Charging it for longer will result in more power. Wow. Look at that. We killed a pig.
Wow. Look at that. We killed the pig.
We got some delicious red meat out of the deal. I didn't realize I needed to hold it down longer. Does this not have durability, nor does it consume power? That's a little bit wacky. That makes this the single, like, most powerful... No, hold on. We need to actually kill a bad guy with it. You know what? I know where we can go. Did it actually... It grilled the steaks. Of course it did. I know where we can go, where we can shoot monsters without fear. And that is... Well, Venus, too. I was going to go to the asteroids, though. I find the asteroids to be a peaceful and surreal place once it loads. And before that, there we go. Just a bit concerning. Oh, it's still 2 frames a second. But looky there, we've got a bad guy literally right there. I'm sorry? Oh! I thought that was like a line coming off of there and connecting all of this together. And I was like, that wasn't there before. Although we never really even checked these out, because remember all we did was after building this, we hopped down here. Oh my gosh, flying fundamentally breaks space, doesn't it? And space exploration. But here we go. Now we can pretty safely do combat. Okay, so that was like a charged up one. Okay, they kind of go far afield sometimes, I'm not sure why. It's not really having the full out... Like, I'd kind of hoped it would be a one-shot, one-kill situation. Does it do, like, damage to multiples? It's hard to tell unless they're grouped up together. Also, sometimes... Yeah, it just does that. Why is it... Oh, wait a minute. I filled this place with these. It repels them. Wacky. So if I shoot this direction, yeah... Oh, that's crazy. I wonder why. Does it detect the laser beam as being some sort of entity? I guess it does that to arrows as well. So that must be why. That's weird. So it does look like it takes 2 shots to kill. But it is effective at killing, and it doesn't have ammo. It doesn't seem to have durability, and it doesn't have energy. It just works infinitely. And it was so easy to build. I mean... I'll grant. Okay, diamond. Maybe not the first thing you're gonna have in the game, but iron, glass. Absolutely, you're gonna have all of these ingredients pretty early on, and then it's just a matter of getting an enchanting table, which I'll admit is not the easiest thing in the world to get, and you gotta kind of grind through getting fire aspect. But after that, you got a frickin' laser beam. Trying to get an idea of the distance. Oh, right. It's going to get repelled if I Something about creepers, man. Something about creepers. Been playing this game for 10 years and they still terrify me. Okay. What was I doing? Right. Long distance shots. I'm not sure why that guy took damage. Why are you dying? What's your deal right now? Why are you burning? I haven't even shot you yet. Is it the sun? I guess maybe it's about to be sun time. Sun time. Sometimes I wonder, what is this? We've never really explored the asteroid belt. Maybe that's because, like most of space, it's kind of largely uninteresting and repetitive. Here's the thing. I'm not diminishing the work that the devs have done in this pack, because I do think that it's really cool. And did anyone else see what looked like something inside of here on the minimap? Wait a minute. Yeah. Look at that. What is green? Hold on. What I was trying to say is that it's really cool that they made this, but also, there's not a whole lot to do in space. You kind of go to the moon so you can get what you need to go to Mars, so you can get what you need to go to Venus, and then on to the asteroid belt, and then after that, it's like, okay, I've been to all these places, I've conquered them all, now what? Nothing. Nothing. There's not really much to do there. It's not like Twilight Forest, where there's a whole other game. Why do sometimes the lasers not fly straight? I feel like if I'm pointing straight ahead, they have a pretty good odd going straight, but then if I'm like pointing up, see what I mean? I don't get it. I don't get it. We did kill that creeper though, and he dropped, I beg your pardon, a blaze rod? That's weird, and so is this hole. Why is there just like a pleasant place? It's lit by glowstone too. This is odd. Is this what's in the asteroid belt? Because I'd be down for that. I'll personally fund a trip to the asteroid belt if this is what's around there. It might be easy to seal this place in and have like a base of operations. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. Hey, now that we have solar panels, I just realized we can get rid of this ridiculous energy system that we have in all of these space places. And we can just have solar panels, and we can get rid of all of this, and just have those feed into MFEs. And that'll keep all of our like oxygen stuff up and running, and all of our quick teleporters. And then do we really even need oxygen systems in all of these places? Because the reason we have oxygen systems is in case... Oh, well, apparently I'm missing one of these, so I'm going to start dying now that I've taken it off. Presumably. That's not even where you fill it. You fill it over here. Well, I'm not going to start dying, and you know why, because I'm standing inside of an oxygen bubble. So do I need to be able to fill up my tank? I could just fast travel home, but what if something happens to the power, and then I'm stranded here? I take it back. This is brilliant to have this. As is, I'm also glad the assertion pod is still here with the Tier 3 rocket. We never even took it out. It's still here. That's crazy. It feels like actual centuries have passed since we were here and we landed and we did all of that. It kind of feels like we moved on to a whole different series. We finished the space arc and didn't think about space again. Yeah, I realize my oxygen setup is invalid. I need you to calm down and leave me alone about it, okay? I'm going to put it in that off one there. So are all of these full of greenery? It doesn't look like it, although it does look like this one has something inside of it again. This one also has something inside of it. What does this one have? Look at this solid, flat wall that is definitely suspicious in many ways. Not many ways, as in little ones. Many, as in a multitude of. This is going to be a much faster way to mine in. Let's go. What have we got? Oh! Oh, we might have already done this, then. Just a hallway? Oh, yeah, we've been in here before. This is odd. I saw something else that caught my attention, though. Right over here. Oh, this blue. That one's covered nice. Is this one also covered nice? I'll give it this. It's got a little bit more going on than I initially gave it credit for, but still, like, are we just gonna fly around? Yeah, this one also is full of life, as in grass. It's just this infinitely. It's just this infinitely, and every so often there's a spaceship. I think it's cool that it exists, and it's an interesting thing to strive for the one time, but Like, there's no reason to build the base of operations here. We have one. But to what end? Well, and there's not even really cool stuff you can build with the stuff you get from space. If there was really awesome material that you could mine out here that would make life back on Earth incredibly different, is that even... Okay, see, I thought that was like a pink asteroid I was flying towards. That's just a blip in the sky block. So that the one thing I thought looked cool doesn't even exist. I don't know. The game keeps freezing on me here too. Well, okay, those guys just took flight. Yeah, we're gonna go now. I'm gonna first off get this out of my inventory because that's dangerous. And then we now have a laser beam. There goes all my stuff. It's all gone from my inventory now. There we go. It's a bit dangerous because if you right click with it, it does seem like it has the opportunity to destroy parts of the base. It's really struggling right now, the game, bless it. I need to stop teleporting around so much, but it's kind of cool. We built a laser beam. Alright, so what happens next? I wanted a day out of the factory. I wanted a day where I could just stretch my legs and play with a laser gun, and that's what we got. Well, I mentioned to the channel members that I want to get into tree breeding, and that might seem weird, but I'd like to be able to build with all the different types of wood. Let me type in plank, and then look at all these planks, and then acknowledge that we don't have access to most of them, because you gotta breed trees to get to some of these. Like pink ivory wood planks. Maybe that's a bad example, because I'm not exactly sure what it's showing me here, but I'm assuming you get these from a pink ivory sapling, which means we need a Brazil wood and a rose gum, which means we need a balsa and a jungle, which means we need a teak and an acacia, which means we need a dark oak and a jungle. And I don't know how to breed trees. I gotta figure it out. I think I gotta do something with bees. Comment down below if you know how to breed bees. Not bees, trees. With bees. I think you just need the bees to be close. I think that's all you really need. We do have some bees. They're in here. We got a Rocky Princess, and we got a Meadows Princess, and we got a Meadows Drone. I don't know what you do with these. I have no clue. What do you got? You got some kind of a bee? We did a little bit with bees in the past. I mean, I did a whole series about it, and maybe in the process of making another one. Do you need a bee house? Is that what it's called? That can't be what you call that. A mucus comb. I guess just some kind of comb. Comb? Probably not the kind you use in your hair, though. Ha ha ha. I think we gotta build a scoop. I think that's what we gotta do. We gotta build a scoop. And then we go scoop up a beehive. And then I have no idea what we do after that. I'll figure it out. It'll be great. Thank you folks for watching. God bless you. We have a freaking laser beam now. Bye.